Hello and welcome back to the No Ball Knowledge Podcast, which today we're going to be doing a preview of the Mexico-England game at the Azteca at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Now, Yali, going into this particular game, we have Mexico has been playing fantastically well. I think you mentioned to me now just before that they haven't conceded a goal in the entire tournament so far, so they're flying high. Versus in England, that let's be honest, haven't really been looking good. Struggled in some aspects of the group stage. Struggled against Congo, coming back from behind to win the game. Suffering a little bit from fatigue and injuries and tight cramps and muscles and things of that sort. Uh, and when we're looking at this game, playing in the altitude over a mile and a half above sea level, everyone's talking about whether or not the players of the England squad are going to be able to adapt to this, whether they're going to have the lungs to go all the way. When you couple that with the performances from both of these teams, when you look at Mexico's record at the Azteca, they've only lost twice there in their entire history. Everything is stacked up against England right now. Wouldn't you say?
Everything and a little more. If I'm being honest with you, this game is a scary one in that sense. I feel like the only thing that England kind of has going for them is the fact that they have the better players. Let's be honest, but this game is one of those games that's like, dude, for England, if they sort of check like this box and they go through this is huge for them because I feel like their
Massive.
conference will be insane. It's like, man, we just went to war and we came out on the other side of it. But this is also one of those games, like you said, Javi. Everything you laid out, it's England has not been looking good. I'm expecting changes in that 11. Mexico, I mean, they're playing at home. You can say whatever you want. Yeah, maybe they haven't played the best of opponents. They've only lost like twice in like 50 something years or something crazy like that. The attitude, most of the players playing the Mexican league, so they're used to playing in that stadium. I don't know if this is a scary one. This is very, very, very scary because I mean, this is one of those things where this is why teams want to have the World Cup in their country. I mean, this is a home game. Like England has to go on the road to Mexico and beat this team. I don't know, man. I don't know. This is and you look at that performance that England put against Congo, against Ghana, even against Panama, even against Croatia. Like we said it was like okay, like everybody was flying high about that game because it put forward, but Croatia kind of helped them. This game, I do not like this at all for England. If I'm being completely honest with you, I do not like it at all. It's like everything that could go against them, pre-game, it's kind of against them.
Yeah,
It's yeah, it's not fun. It's not fun at all.
not at all. And it's funny because you mentioned all those games, even the Croatia game where they put four past them. All like the English performances, they came in the second half. They were games that they
Yeah.
started off very slow, and as the game went on and things and adjustments were made and players were subbed on, that's where England then was able to find another level. They're not going to have that luxury in this game. This is a war of attrition. This is an England that's going to be under siege. Not an England that's necessarily going to be parking the bus for under 90 minutes, but I say under siege because if anybody understands like medieval battles and medieval histories, when a castle was under siege, the way those guys lost was that it was a battle of attrition. They had the better defense, they had the better structure, they had everything behind them, but it was a matter of how long can you last with no supplies, no food, no water. How long can you last? And when you're playing at this altitude where you feel like you need to take 3 breaths of air just to feel like you're breathing, you're running for 90 minutes against a physical Mexico team that's going to kick you to bits. Because if there's one thing about the Mexico style of play, they will kick you to bits. Okay. You do not have the luxury to be able to start this game slow. Yeah, the only way I see England through to this game is either two ways. Either one, Tuchel puts in a heavily rotated side that focuses on containment and being very defensive, and then he brings on his stronger players to try to see out the game, which I don't think he's going to do because that alone I think is very risky. Or England puts 2-3 past him in the first half, and then they try holding on for dear life in the second. Because if this game is 0-0 or 1-1 going into the 60th or 70th minute, or God forbid extra time, I think we'll be lucky to see England finishing the game with 11 men on the pitch, let alone winning the game.
I mean, that's the thing that that we were talking about. How does England win this game? How? Because we've seen it. They've kind of been slow starters in the games that they've played. Mexico's not gonna slow start. They're not gonna play into the game from the first moment. They're gonna go right after you because they're gonna have the home crowd. They know that they have the altitude. They have all that, so they're gonna go and get you. If you give up a goal, then you have to sort of swim against that, right?
Yeah.
And Javi, I'm being honest with you. I know a lot of times it was like, oh, the Mexican fans, they hype up their team. They should feel good about this game. It's like every little box, like they're checking it. It's like, okay, obviously, like let's be honest. If this game was in a neutral ground here in the States,
Oh,
everybody like
England all
it's like
day.
England's gonna smash them. But you just look at everything, and and let's be honest. Fair play to FIFA, they made sure that Mexico, if they won their group, they sort of got the games at the Azteca and those guys conference. And I agree with you, but but let me ask you this: in what world do we see them actually putting three past them? I mean, it is Mexico. We kind of seen like stuff like this before, but do we really think that England is gonna come out be on top of it that much that they're gonna put 2, 3 goals past them in the first 60 minutes? I don't see that. I don't see that. I think Mexico is gonna come at them, and let's see how they handle that pressure.
The question for me too is like, what is Thomas Tuchel doing to acclimatize these guys? I mean, most medical professionals, they recommend you need to be there at a minimum 1 week beforehand just to get the body used to it. This guy is apparently flying out there even later than they initially planned. They initially were going to go there 3 4 days before. Now apparently they're only going to go in a day before because they're worried about the Mexico fans spying on the team, fireworks at the hotel to not allow the players to sleep. You're going to give these guys less than 48 hours to get used to this altitude. I mean, like what kind of physical preparation? Because it's not just it's the heat, it's the altitude, it's the physicality from the game itself. You're already struggling from a physical perspective. Like, what does Thomas Tuchel do to prepare his guys physically for this game? I don't know. I don't know.
No, and the other thing, which is not been confirmed yet, but the fact that it might rain at the time the game is supposed to start, that game might get moved to early, like to the middle of the day. So they will be playing under the sun if that happens. I just think it's kind of like funny, messed up. I don't even know how to explain it. The fact that you look at it and you say, obviously England is like the better team, but
By
everything
far.
else is like it's like a Mexico's way. It's like come on, like we look at this Mexican team, it's like okay, there's not much there when it comes to
No.
just individual players, but then everything that has to do with not the ball, like the
Yeah.
stadium, the fans, the altitude, the form, like the pressure, like it's like everything is on their side. I'm gonna be honest with you. I actually see, I definitely see a world where this Mexico team comes out flying, and 30 minutes in they're down like 2-0. England's down 2-0. Like that it puts
Yeah.
two like that put 2 goals past them. Sort of like what they did to Ecuador. Let's be honest, Ecuador doesn't have that offensive firepower, but Ecuador's a good defensive team, and that's what happened. Mexico came out with their
And
fans,
and Mexico is
and
used to the altitude because I mean
oh
Ecuador is
yeah,
used to the altitude. Ecuador Stadium is
yeah,
9,000 feet above sea level, so and even
yeah,
they couldn't handle just that this Mexico team that's flying high. Again, let's make it very clear: neutral ground,
oh
England
yeah.
is smoking these guys, putting them to the sword, sacrifice. But is England going to rise to the occasion? I mean, listen, we just did our preview video for the entire round of 16. We had England going through, right, just on name only. But when you sit down and you try to look at the actual conditions that they're facing, like I would still pick England just because of the names and Harry Kane and these players and all these things. But like,
Yeah.
man, do they have no pun intended an uphill battle? God damn, are they
Um,
going to have it tough?
the way I look at this game, like you, I pick England, but I'm gonna be honest with you, Javi. I see a Mexico trashing more likely than England trashing.
Oh yeah,
I think England will go through. I mean, maybe that's just my heart speaking. I mean, even though I don't really care much, but I would like England to go through. But if you tell me, okay, like one of these teams is gonna win 3-0, which one is it? I would back
Mexico.
Mexico to win
Yeah,
3-0.
yeah.
And
100%.
for it to not be like one of those 3-0s where it's like, oh, it's 1-0, and then you score in the 80th minute, and then the other team, and then you just get them in the night. No, if it's like a 3-0 where it's 3-0 like in the first half. It feels like one of those games where it's just like the fans, the pressure, the altitude just comes. Are you quick? And when those things happen, you let one go in and the floodgates open and they start coming in bunches. So, I mean, England, I mean, you're up for one here. Like, honestly, if you pass this test, you might actually go on and just win it because this is like the
Yeah.
hardest test that they could have done by
This will
far.
be England's most difficult game in the entire World Cup.
Yeah.
That is a fact.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be an interesting one. If you guys are watching, would love to know what you guys think. Are we making too much of this altitude thing? A lot of ex players
Maybe we are.
themselves, maybe we are, but even a lot of ex players themselves have said this is a
Yeah.
massive advantage for Mexico. Or does England just have too much? You know, maybe all you need is just one chance to Harry Kane in that opening 15, and they're in the driver's seat. So what? Tell us, well, how do you think this game is going to go? Would love to know your thoughts. We're going to be previewing the Spain Portugal game as well as the USA Belgium game. So keep an eye out for that. And of course, we'll be doing a review of all these big fixtures right after the games are played. So thank you guys for watching. Catch you in the next one.